Hey, what's up, guys? This is Neil. I'm going to be talking about my third chapter. The third chapter is life is not your enemy. So, what do I mean by life is not your enemy? So, like I said, about if you don't know you have eternal life or know that God's living inside of you, by default, you're going to try to fight in life to survive. So, like I said, if you create the source outside of your spirit, you're always going to have to fight the outside world for you to have more life inside. And that is only based on you not realizing your true identity. So, life is not your enemy. So, what I mean by that is that, for instance, if you know that you're going to die one day, automatically you see life as an enemy because you're seeing that your time is coming to an end and you need to hurry up and fight and do all these things before your life ends. So when you're on the foundation of death, thinking that you'll die one day, your nature is to fight because you're trying to fight death, simple as that. And I've come to realize that death is created from our own belief. We are creating death ourselves because we believe in death. Why do we believe in death? Because we don't know the eternal one is living inside of us. So therefore, we believe that life is a life of suffering, sacrificing, fighting, sacrificing. All these things are based on the foundation of death. Because if you create a reality that life is your enemy, you're basically saying God is your enemy. And the reason why people die is because they see life as an enemy. And the life that God has given us is not an enemy, it is our friend. It's your perspective. You see what I'm saying? I can look at a cup, and in my eyes of knowing the truth, I can see the cup and it's actually half empty and it needs to be full. So I just pour more water. From the foundation of death, you will see the cup half empty, not half full. So if you have the consciousness of seeing the truth, you're going to see the world as is half full and needs to come to the full knowledge of knowing that life is already eternal. But if you don't know this truth, you're automatically going to believe that you're going to die one day. You see the world half empty. So you see the world alone, loss and suffering is a reflection of how you see yourself. So is life your enemy? Yes, it is an enemy if you believe it's an enemy. And if you don't believe it's your enemy and your life is your friend, the reality of that life is going to work for you effortlessly. So you see other people fighting in life, always trying to fight to achieve, to obtain certain things in life. And you see another individual who is not even fighting in life, somehow they're just getting things just effortlessly. Why? Because the person that's fighting is creating reality that they don't have it on the inside. Okay? So if you don't see it on the inside, you're automatically going to fight it and force it to have it on the outside. But if things are coming to you naturally, it's because you already believe it's already inside of you. And the nature of that is that the life outside must reflect of your belief on the inside. It's not about you fighting life. It's about you believing right. And when you believe right, the things on the outside automatically happen for you effortlessly. Now you're saying effortlessly. Some people say, you need to fight in life. You need to suffer and sacrifice for you to attain success and stuff like that. Let me ask you this. Do you think God fights to have life? God does not fight to have life. God already knows he has life inside of sight. His spirit is living. So the nature of that is releasing life for it to create and become a reality. But if you don't see the source inside of you, you're automatically going to try to create the source on the outside. Do you understand? So you wonder why, people become famous, have so much success and attain so much possession. And at the end of their life, they still feel like something's missing. It's because the source is not outside. Your identity is not based on what you have on the outside. Your identity is based on who you are on the inside, which is God's spirit has become one in you so that you can have eternal life on the outside. And if you fail to realize that, you're gain in life will come to an end and you will die one day. You need to know that the reason why you have success, richness, possession, and fame is because the source is inside of you. But if you don't believe that, the things on the outside will be taken away from you because you're creating the outside to be your God. You're creating the outside to be your source. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to explain in this chapter is that if you don't see the source inside of you, automatically you see life as your enemy. But if you see the source inside of you, God's Spirit in you, automatically you see life working for you. And you don't need to fight. You just receive, just how you receive your life freely. You did not have to fight, suffer, or sacrifice for you to obtain to be born and to exist. You received it freely. And that is the lifestyle of you knowing God's Spirit in you. Everything outside is given to you. You're receiving it freely. The more you realize the Spirit in you was given to you freely, the less you will fight on the outside and you'll see it automatically happen for you. So in this chapter, I'm explaining a little bit more in depth about understanding it, but there's so much more than that. But for you to get a glimpse of that, and if you're fighting, suffering, sacrificing in life right now, it's because you don't realize who your spirit is. And the nature of that is the Spirit of God will have to put you in a reality for you to come to an end of yourself, of you trying to fight life. You can't fight life. Why are you fighting life? You're fighting God. That's what you're doing. You're fighting God because God's the one that gave you life. So if you're fighting life, you're fighting God. And if you're fighting God, you're going to lose. You're going to die one day. It's as simple as that. All right, well, stay tuned for the next vlog.